Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the sex, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. The Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, change. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour, and today is going to be very uncertain because that's just kind of what's going on in the market right now. The market is very uncertain. No one really knows what's going to happen, whether that's tomorrow with the Fed meeting. Right now, there's a Fed meeting going on today and tomorrow. And then at 2 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to find out if they're going to do the same, which we think they are. And then at 2:30, Jerome Powell is going to come out and he's going to speak on it. And we're hoping for him to be dovish. We're hoping to hear the words, that they're going to stop quantitative tightening and head to quantitative easing. I think that's just a pipe dream, though, honestly. It's hard, guys. Uncertainties in the market. And then we have April 2nd with the tariffs. And it's kind of the reason why we're kind of in this it's a sideways market, and it's probably going to be this way for a while. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is not fun, but if we can put our head down and we can just research and be prepared for when the bull market comes, that's what our show is about, right? That's entirely what we do here, is educate, trying to find you guys the next 100x projects, next 1000x projects, and you're doing that through a research lens. That's what the show's all about. So without further ado, bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Iago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? So, I think that's the kind of what's going on right now is a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Is there anything that we can be certain of right now?
That there's going to be uncertainty in the markets. That's a joke, but kind of not really, right? We've seen volatility, and that's been the most consistent thing for the start of this year. But on a serious note, is what can we look forward to in terms of consistency in terms of uptrend or downtrend? Look, we've been in this downtrend, right? If you had to pick one or side or the other, we went from 108, which was kind of that tippy top part of January, down to where we are right now, 81K. Can we go down further? Of course we can, right? We've seen it happen before, but I do think like the percentage pullback has been pretty significant to where, if we get some good news, I think it's people have been consolidating right now and stuff like that. So there's a chance for us to hit a couple catalysts in a row and really get a spring up here heading into the spring, no pun intended.
Yeah, well, let's talk about one of those potential catalysts right off the bat here. Tomorrow, March 19th, 2 p.m. FOMC interest rate decision, 2:30 Fed Chairman Powell press conference. So, can this be one of those things to kind of push us? Could this be a catalyst to push us into at least a little bit more bullish territory?
It can, but a lot of people are expecting a
Yeah,
nothing burger kind of is what it feels like. I don't know about you, but that's the feeling that I'm getting. They're just saying, okay, no rate cut, but no rate increase, obviously, right? And so that would be the biggest curveball if he actually increased rates, but we don't think that's gonna happen, right? So it's kind of be like status quo again, for
yeah.
this next kind of decision that he has to make, kind of pushing us to the next month. So, the biggest thing would be like M2 money supply really getting bullish, more liquidity coming into the ecosystem, and he at least throws some dovish like type of hint in that they're going to be doing quantitative easing soon. I think that's the hope that everybody has.
Yeah, 100%. That would be the most bullish part of the meeting tomorrow is him even talking about quantitative easing. He hasn't even mentioned it in previous meetings. But you remember that chart we were showing last month with the CPI and kind of going upward?
Yes,
It had like a 99% percentage. But then that 1 month where we were
of
really covering
course.
it, it was wrong, right? Can we get back to that? Can we get back to a point where as CPI to CPI we're up significantly?
I hope so. Look,
Yeah,
I mean, that is really like unfortunate because like my background, digital marketing, I go off of numbers and trends.
yeah.
And the one that I felt so confident in because of what we've seen, like didn't happen. And I'm not upset at myself or anything. Look, I went based off of recent trends too. It wasn't from last cycle. It was from last year, right? Or the previous CPI. So can we get back on the saddle? I hope so. Because that's what was happening. I want to say like 5, 6 consecutive CPIs in a row, and we happen to skip one. Let's see if we can pick it back up here heading into the spring. We do have the catalyst with M2 money supply, so that can help. We'll see though.
Yeah, we're 7 days away from Colin Talks Crypto, his day of March 25th, and that's because it's 10-week lag between M2 money supply really kind of pushing up and Bitcoin. So we will definitely see, but the next 48 hours here are very crucial for crypto. I truly believe that we're gonna kind of get out of this depression phase because it's been bad, dude. It's been like it's not been good. I'm really hoping the next 48 hours we can really push out of here. But I was looking back. And has crypto been in a bear market since April of last year? Aside from the Trump pump, take the Trump pump out of it. Take November, December out of it. It's been a very bear market, right?
It's unique. I'll say that, because Bitcoin did pull up pretty aggressively in November and then of course December, and
But that
that
was Trump
in
pump.
yeah, it was Trump pump, but also some of the alts actually kind of went up too in October, November a little bit, right? Like you had the Cardanos, the XRPs. So that's what makes me feel like, look, it feels like a bear market,
Yeah,
it feels like that, right? Because even though those alts, they were very specific alts that went up, Solana, XRP, Cardano, those type of alts. And then, the mid caps they didn't really go up too much, and the micros definitely didn't. So because of that, like it didn't feel like a bull market. But Bitcoiners that held Bitcoin made it feel like a bull market, right? Because of that. And this year was supposed to be different. This year was supposed to be
yeah.
to where some of these alts really did get hyper aggressive, and we just haven't seen it, right? So it feels like a bear market. Look, here's an example. I was talking to one of the biggest incubators in our the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? And he's was very kind of energetic talking about building and all this stuff. And I just asked him straight up. I was like, "Has this been like a really hard year for the industry?" And he kind of chuckled and said, "Of course, it has." So they see it too, but they're still building though because they have anticipation that it's going to come back. It's going to happen. When? That's the magic question.
Yeah, yeah, dude. To me though, dude, this has been a 4-year bear market. Like besides like ordinals and you know, the whole pump fund bullshit, right? Like it's just been very it's been bear market. Like 2023 and 2024, taking out the Trump pump has been exactly the same. Like, you know, obviously we didn't experience because we were playing ordinals and there was money to be made because it was something brand new. But if you looked at the rest of the market, I mean, besides that Trump pump, there hasn't been anything that's really been like really kind of pushing. I mean, you did
Significant.
Solana, but again, that was because pump fund was brand new, right? The new stuff, yeah, that's always going to be out of the ordinary, but everything else has been so disappointing, like all across the board, everywhere, besides the Trump pump. Like that's the only thing in the last 3 years that's been actually fun. Fun time anyway. And like I said, ordinals were a little different because they're newer, but
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, just that Bitcoin rally, aggressive rally, right? And
yeah.
it wasn't fun for like the non like, you know, if you only held a lot of Bitcoin, or the corporate guys that had huge pockets that came in,
Yeah.
bought Bitcoin, or maybe like, you know, did leverage or whatever. Like it never got to that like crazy moment to where the all of crypto Twitter goes absolutely crazy, you know, to where the alts hit and stuff. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we haven't had that yet, and everybody's longing for that. They're, you know, not taking longs, but like they want it,
Yeah.
right? They want that, and you know, when does it come? Hopefully, it comes this year. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But you know, Elon Musk claims the U.S. Treasury has magic money computers that can make money out of thin air. So what we've been told so far is how the Fed makes money is they sell bonds into the market. That is how money is made. The bonds are just printed out of nowhere. The bonds are, hey, IOUs, and people come in and they buy those bonds off the Fed to get the interest, right? But now we're hearing about these magic money computers that actually have infinite money. It's the first time we've actually heard about this, and we always assumed that these existed, right? But these magic money computers, he said there's like 14 of these things that are, you know, all over the treasury, and they can actually print money whenever they want, not just sell bonds in the market. So everything we've been told has been bullshit up to this point.
I'm not surprised, but I don't want to hear this, because then it's like, you know, it just causes more fear in the markets and in society, right, in the US. And it's sad. How do they fix this though? Right? Obviously they have to get rid of these, not be able to do things like this anymore. But like, how far does this set us back? That's the worry, you know, that I have. You know, what we're about to find out, I think, is I think they're going to start to roll out more and more information like this. I hope
Yeah.
that it comes to like like a halt, to where we can say, okay, let's move forward and make things better. It's just, I don't think there's a lot of hope for that right now.
I personally love this. I think it's freaking amazing. Print this shit out of the dollar, because what's going to happen? Bitcoin's going to go up in price, right? This is the most bullish thing I've ever heard for Bitcoin, that there's 14 computers that just print money out of nowhere. Bitcoin has that supply. Bitcoin is scarce. Bitcoin is the greatest money that's ever existed in the world, right? So I love this. I want there to be 70 of these computers. I want one in every state, right? Print the shit out of it. Print it to fucking zero, right? And because I think that's what that's going to do, is that's going to push Bitcoin to heights that we've never even seen before, because the billionaires are kind of paying attention now. Like, oh, maybe I should get some of this just in case.
So I think if they were going to let it loose, yeah, but I don't think that. I think the whole point of mentioning this is that, hey, look, we've caught this. We don't want this to continue. You know,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like, I want to pump the crypto markets, and nothing would pump it more, in my opinion, than you know, putting more fiat in circulation for people to buy,
Yeah.
right? But this to me doesn't sound like that type of headline. This to me sounds like, hey, look, we caught this, and we're gonna stop it. We're doing good.
But the fact that this existed in the first place is going to have some of these billionaires being like, damn, I have a lot of this fiat shit. Like, I got to do something with this, right? And you can see with gold right now, right? A lot of them kind of went pretty hard this morning. They pushed gold above 300, the all-time high, $3,025. Like, so they've actually got the news from yesterday and was like, yeah, buy some of that gold stuff, because I don't like the fact that there's 14 of these unlimited money making machines that even exist, right? Like we always were told they got to sell bonds into the market. Now we have these computers that have unlimited money.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, that perspective for sure. You know, they're thinking like, so the inflated, you know, circulation of fiat in the US is way greater than we expect or thought,
Yeah.
or what they're reporting. So in that aspect, yeah, but I think they need to show it in the Bitcoin chart. Let's pump that up, because they went gold first, and hopefully Bitcoin comes next.
Well, you got to remember, old money like aren't the guys in Bitcoin right now, right? A lot of the old money, they're very, they're very risk off, right? And Bitcoin
Yeah.
will always look to them anyway until they pass away. That it's a very risky asset until the next generation can come in and say, yeah, right, dude. Bitcoin's way like we know exactly how many Bitcoin there is with gold. It can be, we can always find more of it. So I feel like we haven't that switch hasn't been triggered yet for these older generation guys. I'm talking about like the older generation, the guys who made their money in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't clicked for them yet. And that's the real money. And that's the money that's going into gold right now.
Yeah, I feel like every major city has that neighborhood of old money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where it's like the older homes, but they're nice, they're big, but they're old. You can tell,
Yep.
they're older. And that's the old money. That's the old money that
Yeah.
has these large TradFi portfolios. And you're right, they're gonna go to gold because that's their Bitcoin from their generation.
Exactly. So it is going to take some time for Bitcoin to look as gold does, but it's going to happen. Bitcoin it's still only a teenager at this point, right? Being what is it, 14 years old, 16 years old, something like that. So it's still really, really, really young, and it's going to take time. But this is actually a good wake up call for me anyway, to realize like you're in the right spot, because once old money dies off, they're going to give their kids this new money, and the kids don't see Bitcoin as their parents do, and that's going to happen. So,
Yeah. Yep.
I found a really weird TA chart, right?
Is that the
I
Ethereum
kinda,
one?
yeah. So I kind of want you to
Don't
like
do
help me
it.
out here.
Don't do
Help me
it.
out here. What is this this chart? What is
Pattern?
this chart pattern here?
I think it's not a popular one, I don't think. It's not one of the yeah, but people probably feel like Ethereum's like doing something with that to them right now with the price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting
So
that
this
you
isn't a
you chose
normal.
you chose this headline for Ethereum's price chart.
So you're telling me now that this isn't a normal TA pattern, is what
It's
you're
not
saying?
in the chart of prominent and popular TA chart patterns. No, it's not.
If you had to name this, what would you name this chart pattern?
I would say, I don't know, man. I'm not even go there, bro. I'm not gonna go there.
Guys, put it in the chat. What do you think we should name this chart pattern? Let us know. I would love to get you guys involved in this.
Something to the downside.
So let's name this chart, guys. All right. So Dogecoin whales holding over 1 million Doge are increasing their holdings despite a 70% downtrend here. And I have this really cool chart that I seen this morning, and it really shows you. So this is the price of Doge, but look at the accumulation. Like, we haven't seen this type of accumulation since back here, right? Which was probably the best time to buy. And as you can see, the price was kind of high and then dipping, but they continued to buy during the dip, and it looks like they're doing it again. Dogecoin millionaires, I guess you would say, because they are really kind of pushing the increasing supply, because you got to remember, Doge inflates every day. It's one of the highest inflating coins out there because it's proof of work, and there is no halving for Doge, right? It's just, it'll always be more, and it's very random the way it comes out. So some blocks might be an incredible amount, and some blocks might be almost nothing, but it's always random. And the way it's way higher than the dollar when it comes to inflation. It's between 7 and 8%. So, but what do you think about this accumulation by these Dogecoin whales here?
I feel like they know something, or that's the first thing that goes to my mind, is like the whales, the big whales that, when you have like tens of millions of dollars, you're in another group of research information. Honestly, like I've met a couple of people that like crushed it last cycle, from like Gala getting in early and making like $80 million off of it, right? And like when I talk to them this cycle, they're in stuff that like I had to do like extra research on, because I was like, this isn't really being talked about in mainstream and stuff like that, right? So I think that these whales probably know something that's going to be coming up with Doge, or they're just that confident in Doge having a really big thrust up once the market comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only two options I can think of. What about you? What comes to your mind first?
Well, if you look here, right, what happened when the price was up, right? They stopped, and they to me they kind of seen that, right? They kind of seen it coming, and then they basically thought it bottomed out here, but it didn't, right? I think they were expecting it to kind of do another retrace up, and that's kind of why. And then they kind of bought the falling knife. I don't know if this is smart money. I think the people buying Doge right now are not the smartest people in crypto because of the fact they bought this falling knife this entire time. Like for me, should have been sideways, and then we should have seen upward momentum here as we looks like it bottomed a little bit, right? So I don't know. They bought a falling knife this entire time. Every purchase between here and here has been buying a falling knife.
But that's why I feel like this is something that's more than that, because you have to have a ton of retail buyers to be able to do that. Have that kind of volume go up like that. And for them to all be like on this bad page together, it just doesn't make sense to me, right? Whenever everybody else in retail was fearful and didn't buy. So to me, this looks more like people that have the pockets that can move, markets and stuff, and or like are perceiving something big to happen for a token or something, right? An asset, and that's why they're accumulating. It seems like to me, because that's just too much retail. That's like ill-informed, right? Or it's someone that's really informed with a couple whale groups. One of the two options.
This isn't retail at all. This is big money. This is smart money.
Yeah,
because they're holding
smart
1
money
million
isn't
Doge.
stupid, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but I don't know. So here was smart, right? Look back to here. The price was going sideways. They were heavily accumulating, right? And then they stopped. And then with the price, accumulation stopped. But the price was almost 50 cents. And then they stopped buying and they started buying again here. But I don't know. Maybe they weren't expecting this downward momentum here, but they're definitely sideways now. If you take a look at this, they haven't really purchased as much, so they finally got the hint that maybe it wasn't the time to be buying here. But yeah, I mean, it's still bullish either way, right? So
I think so, and I think like whenever you point that out, it's kind of like that surface level of like the price chart, right? It's like, okay, they probably should have stopped because the fear should have kicked in, but for them, something's not making them fearful. Something's allowing them to continue, and that's why I say I think like smart money has some sort of anticipation for something there. But maybe I'm wrong with that. That's definitely a unique chart.
Yeah, it's different. I'm definitely want to keep an eye on it and kind of see if maybe. I mean, they're probably going to be right in the long run, but it really depends on how much inflation really comes in with this. So I don't know. We'll see. This is something scary. I didn't want to put this on the show, but I think we got to talk about it. So Crypto Quant CEO Kai Young Zhu expects the next 6 to 12 months to be bearish or showing sideways price action as Bitcoin's Bitcoin bull cycle is over. He's calling for he's saying the cycle is over. He's saying that we've hit our peak here, and he has this chart to kind of basically say it. So every single one of these dots here have been cycle peaks, cycle peak, cycle peak, cycle peak, right? So besides this one, which is weird, but cycle peak, and then he just added this one right here saying we've hit the cycle peak, and he's kind of expecting us to kind of drift back lower or sideways here. Do you think he's right? Do you think any part of him could be right here and we've kind of peaked out of this cycle?
I mean, of course, like he has a shot to be right here, right? But he says 6 to 12 months, bearish or sideways. And then what? Is he saying, okay, then we have like this kind of small bear market over and then we pick back up in mid 2026?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really follow through with like what happens after that, because that would in theory, I feel like 2026 is really like, if you look at the 4-year cycle, 2026 is kind of where the bear market starts.
Yeah.
So if he's right here, that means that this cycle is completely flipped on its head, and the middle of 2026 is whenever things get bullish again. I think everybody is trying to be right with what's going to happen with Bitcoin next, right? And look, that's a part of the game, right? That's a part of the game is trying to forecast what happens. And as you can see, you can't use logic right now for our market. I tried to use it with the CPI data, right? And I got completely wrong with that. People are trying to use it with M2 money supply. It did work some at the end of last year for sure, for Bitcoin at least, and some of the majors. But like, what's going to happen now that we're going into this M2 money supply? So this is kind of contradicting that M2 money supply thesis, as well as like quantitative easing, saying that that's not going to help. And there's a possibility he's right. And if that's true, then the cycle, 4-year cycle, definitely gets turned on its head.
Yeah, 100%. And it kind of feels like it did over here, right? Like that's this one. Yeah, he was definitely right. This was the top of 2018, but then 2020, this random line here is just there, right? But it's very similar to what we have here, right? It's up a little bit, but not much. And then we had that bull run. So this actually might be signaling to me that we might see this now, right? Like, I don't know why this one exists. Like, I get this one, I get this one, I get this one, but why does this one exist, right?
What is that? The sell?
This is the tops. He called the top here, called the top here, called the top here, and here. So he was right 3 out of the 4 times. But this one was really wrong. Like, I don't understand why this one is here. But the fact that it is here makes me kind of bullish that we might start seeing something like this.
So in between 2020 and 2022, that's whenever it started to pick back up. And so right now he's calling another sell. So then we have 6 to 12 months is what he's saying. Okay, I see what he's saying. It's definitely, this is not the typical type of data chart that we that we get into. And so I don't know, man. I don't like what he's saying. So hopefully he's not right, but I don't know, man. This cycle is definitely something that is unique.
Well, I mean, 6 months from right now would put us in what, September, October?
Q4, right?
Terrible. That would be so terrible. Just kind of go sideways. What if we're sitting between 80 and 100,000 in August? How?
Well, like imagine the Bitcoin conference. Like, how would that feel if we were like below?
I'm not
80?
going. If
how
we're
would that
below
feel?
80,
how would that feel, right? So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. That's for sure. And so we just got to really kind of see how markets react, and see if we can get back on track.
Yep, 100%. Brazilian lawmakers propose a bill to allow employers to pay salaries in Bitcoin with at least 50% paid in Brazilian real, which is their native currency of Brazil. Pretty big now that we're actually getting lawmakers kind of putting bills forward to get paid in Bitcoin. When I was still working, I would have 100%. My boss was like, "Hey, we'll put 30% of your pay in Bitcoin." I'd be like, "Yeah, I do that anyway. Thanks for just doing it for me," right? So it's just like, and then you don't have to pay the fee and stuff like that because it'll come right in as Bitcoin, and it'll all be done in the kind of the back end as they pay you. So I don't know. I love this, and I love that a country as big as Brazil. I mean, we're talking one of the probably top 10 countries in the world. Actually, lawmakers are proposing this. So they're actually following. The U.S. hasn't even put anything like this bill yet, anyway, like this into the Senate or anything.
This reminds me of like a replacement for like 401k a bit,
Exactly.
right? Obviously, like the 401k, in my opinion, was looked at as like a really safe kind of retirement asset, or like a strategy with your paycheck, right? And so Bitcoin, having that option, I think the US would probably try to work with like, these 401k portfolio providers to say, hey, let's include, have the option to include some Bitcoin in that, like ETF wise or whatever, just because, they want to protect the consumer and stuff like that. So that's how I see it would probably happen here. But who knows? Maybe they skip that and say, hey, look, you can just offer it directly to your employees.
Yeah, and like 401ks are complete scams. Like my wife works for one. Like she tells me the scams happen all the time. They will trade your portfolio, and just so they get the fees, and you pay the fees, right? And a lot of companies actually pick up the fees for their employees, so they don't even see it. The employee doesn't even see it, but the company does, which takes away money that could potentially go to you in the long run with raises or bonuses or whatever, right? Because they're paying these fees. And the 401ks are one of the biggest scams out there because of these trading fees that these brokerages earn. Like it is absolutely insane, some of the stuff that she shows me, and it's just like, holy shit. Like all they got to do is take that 10% or whatever they put from the paycheck into Bitcoin, and they would make so much more money, and their employer wouldn't have any fee at all. Like Bitcoin as a 401k, it would destroy any 401k manager, especially when they put stuff like iShares and some of this stuff. iShares is one of the biggest scams out there. It's from BlackRock, and it is purposely so your 401k doesn't really grow. They put shit in there that has been stable for like 20 years, and it's still 401k companies put that in there because there's safe assets in there, there's bonds and stuff like that. But having bonds in a portfolio, especially the last 20 years, has been negative against everything else that's in there. Like, it is bad.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to think about, like, all through the 2000s and 2010s and stuff like that. People that were retiring would show their 401k and it would look really good, right? They'd be at like 1.5 million, 1 million, kind of like that extra retirement money. And so that's what that's how they dangle the carrot, right? Is that, like, after 20 years of service with this company, you get an extra like 1 million, 1.5 million. And so that's where that comes from, right? But I agree, they're obviously making money, or they wouldn't be offering the service. Which, to me, the way that humans are programmed and created, like, greed is just installed into our DNA, right? So I imagine that that's going to probably happen here with fees of some sort, like servicing fees and stuff like that eventually. But if you're smart enough and you're educated enough, then you'll be able to catch that. Right. So
think about this, though. The average 401k averages about 7% a year, right? Inflation averages between 2 and 3%, sometimes 4% over the last 10 years, right? So your portfolio actually, with inflation, you're really not making much at all. Yeah, you're showing the 1.5 million, but you're just
you could make more.
You're basically just beating inflation. Like, you're all you're doing is beating inflation in reality by 3%. Like, it's not like you could have put that in any asset in a stock market and made incredible amount, as long as it was like an asset that survived, right? And I mean, if you're not okay with picking and choosing, but you could have put your money in Apple in the year 2004 and did 100x more. Like, just find the biggest company on the stock exchange and put it in that company. You would have made way more than the 401k, like extremely, like,
of course,
100x more.
But that's where they get them, is because the average person doesn't want to make their own decisions. The average person wants to let these 401k managers handle it for them. They don't want the headache. They just want the percentage coming out of their check going into, into their 401k, right? So, like, yeah, I mean, I agree. And a lot of people will explain that and break that down, but it doesn't matter because society is kind of conditioned to this. I don't want the headache. I want convenience. Let them take care of it. I don't care how much I'm paying in fees.
If they consider a headache losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, then I guess, or even millions of dollars, that's really stupid. Like, I'm really starting to believe that like 90% of the world is dumb as shit. Like, when you say like things like the people are lazy, it's just like I just don't get the mindset.
But that's how there's only like 1%. That's why they call it the 1%ers, right? Is because they know these things. They know how to do tax loopholes. They know how to never use their actual liquidity or their actual owned capital. Utilize the bank's capital. Utilize other people's capital. Right? When you put money in the bank, rich people are utilizing that to make more money. You have access to it. Unless there's a super emergency, you can get up to 150,000 with FDIC. But in theory, in reality, what's happening is these rich people come in, they take loans, and they're utilizing that to make more money. So they're using the public's money.
Well, think about it this way too. No millionaire has a 401k. There's not 1 millionaire.
Well, they don't need it. They don't need
it. I'm just saying, but that should tell you something, right? Yeah. Like, they know how to invest their own money. So Bitcoin and crypto companies are seeking to become national banks under this administration. So we've had so this is what I'm reading, that was the big talk at this conference, right? Like, why Brian Armstrong, why the Winklevoss guys went there. They want to become banks. They want all the benefits of being a bank. And what benefits are there from being a bank, right? The main one is if you become insolvent, they come in and save you.
Get backed out,
right?
Yeah.
So Coinbase and potentially Grayscale and Gemini, they're all trying to become U.S. banks. How big do you think that would be if Coinbase got a banking license?
I think like that would be an official. We have moved into the next stage of like
Yes.
this new kind of innovative stage, right?
Yeah.
Like that happens once. I think like once a century kind of situation, right? Like the industrial period in the early 1900s. Things had to change. People were like, "Oh, we're going to lose all our jobs. We're going to do all these things." Like, you know, an institution in crypto becoming a bank is definitely like a movement to forward. So we'd have to it'd be definitely you take a little time to get used to seeing that, right? Coinbase Bank and stuff like that. But probably going to be the direction they go in.
I would immediately open an account. Well, I guess I would already have one, right? So now I can just get my direct deposits directly to Coinbase in a way, right? Like it's the same thing. And if that was the case for, you would just have it there. You can buy USDT with it, or you can use your debit card, because I have a Coinbase debit card, right? Like, so I mean, I don't know. I would absolutely think that was the most bullish thing, and that actually might be something that like is the top of this cycle. Coinbase and stuff really become, or it could be the thing that really pushes us into this next cycle. But we'll see. All right, let's get into today's fear and greed. So, come on, load up. All right, so last week was 24. Yesterday was a 32. We're a little higher than yesterday.
All right, let's play this game. 35.
Pretty close. 34.
30, okay.
So we're right there, a little bit higher than yesterday, sitting at 30. So it's 24 last week, 34 this week. Can we expect 44 next week? Would that be? I mean, that should look pretty good.
We should expect 44 and a possibility of 24. That's how you stay safe. That's how you stay safe.
I don't want to see 24 ever. I wanted the 24 days to be behind us. Like, I was hoping that was at least the bottom of sentiment, but it is what it is. All right, let's kind of see where Bitcoin's at right now. Let's get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura is going to be one of the leading leverage trading platforms in the entire ecosystem. We're actually going to be putting together a roundtable for them of some of the best traders that we know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We hope you guys join that. That should be next Wednesday. We're going to get the lineup all set probably by the end of this week, and we'll have more information out with that. But it's going to be fun, guys. Artura is going to be on Hemi mainnet. But right now, you guys can play with them on Botonic's testnet. Right now is probably a great time to do that, kind of get you ready for mainnet with this paper trading competition that is coming as well. But all you need to do right now is make one trade on Artura, and that'll put you in their raffle system. And once you get in there, potentially you could win something absolutely huge for making a paper trade. Stupid not to at least go to Artura.finance today. Claim the free testnet Bitcoin, claim the free testnet $10,000 USDT, make one trade, put it all long, forget about it. You will be entered into that competition. And when the trading competition comes as well, you'll be entered into that raffle. And then when the trading competition is what comes as well, that'll be something to definitely participate in. And then, if you're interested in going a little harder, when mainnet comes, you want to use some real money, Artura is probably the place, because we know that they want to enrich their community. So be a part of that community, right? And also, Hemi could actually have a token as well down the line. So doing a trade on Artura when it's on mainnet could potentially get you an airdrop for Hemi. So that's all we're about right now. We're airdrop hunting. Everyone's broke right now, but there is going to be new coins coming into the market that you could just get for free. So definitely take advantage of that and check out Artura.finance.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like this cycle, definitely the opportunity is, airdrop farming kind of situation. So just, stay tuned to our show, because we talk about that a lot in the opportunities and everything. But before we get into Bitcoin's price action, guys, help us out here. On the YouTube side, smash that like, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, hit that like as well, and please share the space so we can bring in more people to crypto and the Bitcoin ecosystem. And on Abstract, if you can share that stream, that would be amazing. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action. Brought to you guys by Artura. I am utilizing Artura's charts here, which anybody can do that, right? So if you go to their Artura.finance and you click on the trading view button, you can actually add indicators. So it's pretty cool here. I'm blowing this up here, but this is kind of playing out like I said yesterday, right? I think we were sitting at like 83.4 yesterday. And I said, the hour chart looks like it wants to head down, right? And if it does, we could be, ranging between that 82, 81.5, 82.5, 83,000 range. And it looked like it wanted to take it a little bit lower, right? So we did get down to this 80, 81.3. So, looks like we've been down here for all through the night into this morning. It doesn't look like it wants to slow down just yet. You can see here on the MACD that the leading blue indicator line for the MACD looks like it's still heading down kind of that south direction, right? It does look like it barely wants to kind of curl up here. You can see here this it's starting to weaken though a little bit. So if this continues, we might see this start to curl up, which could be a decent sign that we might start heading back up here. Now, in terms of the stochastic RSI, it is kind of similar in terms of, not necessarily wanting to shoot back up just yet. We're sitting at like 9 points on the stochastic RSI. Need to get back close to that 20-point line to get out of oversold. And so us kind of jumping up here is going to be that first indicator that, hey, it wants to move back up. And it doesn't look like it's really energetic yet, but it is moving up slowly here. You can see we're at like 10.5 now. But yeah, so, until I start to see some movement here on these leading indicators of getting up past out of oversold territory on stochastics and this kind of curling up, I would say we're probably going to range, 81.5 to 82, mid 82s. And if we do get aggressive, though, that's another story. But, look, we are leading up to tomorrow, which is a big day in terms of the decision for the Fed and kind of having those conversations if they're going to start to ease up. So this could be kind of playing into that, but we won't know until tomorrow. So that's what I'm seeing on the hour. And let's get into the 4 hour, which, as you guys know, if you watch this show frequently, that this is, plays from the 1 hour, of course. But yeah, so this could definitely change. As I said, if tomorrow is bullish, then we can kind of get out of this, but this is not looking great. So if tomorrow is like a kind of a nothing burger, honestly, if it's like, okay, nothing really bullish, nothing bearish necessarily, I would say it still would be more towards the downside, just because you can see the 4 hour here still doesn't, it looks like it wants to maybe head down for the next day or so. Again, anything can change, with headlines or the Fed being bullish, being dovish, talking about easing. Then we're going to see a whole nother, price point with Bitcoin. But that's what I'm seeing, guys, on the hour chart and the 1 hour. Let's take a glance over here at the liquidation levels for Bitcoin. You can see these shorts kind of in that same spot. They did lessen a little bit, so maybe some people closed out their positions because now we're kind of like, well, it's still at the 85 to 86 range, but it doesn't look as like dark orange, right? So it looks like we probably had some closeout. This one right here seems like maybe like high liquidity, but like small, like not a lot of positions, just the amount may be a bit high here, so they can get liquidated here at the 84 to 85, but and it's sparse down here in my opinion. So looks like leverage is kind of starting to get a little bit less, which is a good thing, but we really need to see what's going to happen with tomorrow, the information coming from the Fed. But yeah, I got this from Marty Party, which you can follow him on X. And if you guys want the link, just let us know. We'll put it in the chat. And that is the Bitcoin price action for you guys today on a Tuesday.
Yep. Great job, man. So what are you thinking? Can we bounce from here?
I mean, I think it's just going to be up and down, honestly, until tomorrow. After tomorrow, we're going to know a lot, or it's a nothing burger and we just kind of cruise through and just keep ranging, right? So.
Yeah, man. All right, let's get into the roll call. Let's see who is here today. All right, jump into it. Number one today, congrats, Matt. So Matt's was actually reaped. He won.
Oh,
and then he got reaped, but then he came back. And he got it again. So,
bro, when you
Matt
say that, like it sounds weird.
He got reaped. I don't know. Like what?
The Reaper.
I didn't make it up. Like that was our chat, right? Like so that's what they say in the chat. I'm just following for, but reaped and the other words sound very similar. I get it, but that's just what they call it, and I'm just going by our chat here. But congratulations to Matt's, man. You have your win number 2 on the year.
2 in a row, I think, though, right? Because I think he won Monday.
He won the 13th. Yeah.
Okay.
So he won. What's that? Thursday?
No, that
he won Thursday.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he won. So ASAP Benji won Monday and Friday, and then Matt's won Thursday and today. So these guys are really kind of pushing now. There's $1,000 frog on the line, right? And all you got to do is just beat out WebDro right now. You got to win, baby, win. So shout out to Matt, shout out to every single one of you guys who tried for this. It is awesome to see the competition that is really strong right now. But in the number 2 spot, we got Danny Boy said Matt's for the win. Malam Yuri says get in there. WebDro says Matt's got his first before and after the Reaper. That was pretty. That's how I knew that it even happened. But I did see Matt's yesterday, and I didn't realize that it was a different comment. But yeah, he got reaped, and then he said 4 hours to go. So he was watching to make sure that he, in case it reaped again, because that's what it does. It deletes all the comments at once. So if you are able to kind of see that and get back in, I mean, you're number one. So Nabob is here. Shout out to Nabob every single day. Nabob, I appreciate you, my friend, and I really hope I'm saying your name right. I don't know if there's any other way to say that, but
there
Nabob.
isn't.
All right, cool. Danny Boy is here. PJNZ is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Ooh, Reaper came. Good job, Mats. Glass Hopper is here. He says, who is going to join us for Clan Wars today? Let's get the win. So it'll be today at 3 p.m., which is approximately 3 hours
Eastern
and 17 minutes from right now. Yeah, so 3 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely want to check that out. If you're interested, guys, we'll be live just like we are right now. So you just come back to our channel. And if I apologize to the person who was first in that stream, it does not count, guys. It only counts for the Monday to Friday live streams. So apologize if anyone was trying for that, but that does not count. But Tim Baker is here. Shout out to Tim Bake, a guy. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. Patty Poo with a sup. Anagi is here. Shout out to Anagi. Bit Dog, Chief Axel is here every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Steamy J is here. No is in the building. And we got Jacqueline here 2 days in a row. Appreciate you, Jacqueline. PJNZ again. Glasshopper again. Myself is here. Shout out to myself. Don't underestimate the Doge. Yeah, Doge has been one of the strongest memes ever created. Bush Catherine is here. Mark is here from Launch Punks. Shout out to Mark. Mark, I'm curious if you guys are doing anything with Launch Punks lately. I would love to highlight it if you are. Please send me any links or anything. It'd be cool to say. Memetics is here. I want to say Memetics, but yeah, investing is the only one company is extremely risky. That's the whole point of 401k. It diversifies your investment. It's there to retire on, not to make you rich. Yeah, but all it does is barely beat inflation. That's the problem, right? Like, so and then they trade on your behalf, and every trade you make, you have to pay a trading fee. And sometimes they'll do thousands of trades a week in your name, and then someone has to pay for that, whether it's your company or it's you yourself. Some companies force those fees on its users, and that's the problem, right? Your 401k, every time your 401k changes, it's huge. It's huge, like derivative plays, because it's like 9 people are getting fees from this. So that's where the scam comes in. All the middlemen in a 401k, that's the problem, right? It would just be easier for you to pick 10 stocks and maybe a bond, and you'll probably make so much more. Because there's no trading fees and stuff like that.
The product is not for people that can pick 10 stocks in the bond, though. That's the difference. But yeah, I mean, like, they're paying fees to
or just buy the S&P 500. I mean, that beats out all the 401ks, right? So Bush Catherine is here. I think I said you once already, and then you guys are just jamming it up. So let's stay away from PvP and return to building culture. That is the Bitcoin chain. Yes, I agree 100%. Mark says Clan Wars, bring it on. MB in you. That's Mark's. If you guys get killed by MB in you, that is Mark. Shout out to all you guys.
He's pretty good, man.
Appreciate it.
I would say he's ranked second.
Yeah, behind the boss.
Well, there's probably one. Right? I think there's one other guy like that's really good. I don't remember his name, but Mark is definitely good though.
Who's the invisible guy?
It's like, that knifes people. He knifes people. It's like, if you're gonna be invisible, don't knife me, man. It's personal.
So. he gets close. He gets close up. All right. The next thing here is kind of getting to the on-chain news. Oh, where is that? I had it here. It's one of these. Okay, so there's been over 250,000 new tokens, mostly meme tokens, launched on Solana in the last 7 days. Despite the broader crypto market downturn, people are back. They're back to pump fun. They took a nice hiatus, and we did see what was his name? What's that guy's name? He's a big Solana. He's part of the vape ball. Well, he's back now, and he's actually going to start streaming again. Thread Guy's back. Yeah, Thread Guy's back. He tweeted for the first time in 4 weeks, something like that, since the Malay. So but when that happened, the pump fund got excited again. So pump fund is back. There's 250,000 new communities of tokens that are available for you to join if you're interested. So yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about Solana and pump fund kind of being back? Maybe does this signal that we're headed back to fun times again with this
fun
we're
times?
coming
I
back.
don't know if it was fun times, but
Yeah,
you know, it depends if I think there needs to be like a lot of internet sleuths on it right now. Like, okay, look,
yeah,
this is Hayden is you could tell this wallet's connected to him somehow or whatever. Because that stuff needs to get cut out, man. And that's
yeah,
what you know. Obviously, like Odin.fun is such a smaller like market. You know, it's tiny right now, but
yeah.
at least it's like has like some fairness to it, right? Versus Pump Fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what if people are crushing it on there. You know, with this 250,000 new tokens, but I imagine you know the bots are back at it. People are using Photon like crazy. That kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just cool to kind of see that it's back, right? Which because we I mean, obviously we noticed the market was just down only since it went away, right? I mean, I'm only putting what I'm seeing. We saw Pump Fund really die off in around the Malay, and then we saw the markets die off as right after that, right? And crypto Twitter is down. Like it's just been really bad the last I want to say 4 weeks, and now we're kind of seeing at least the excitement come back in the Pump Fund casino that is Solana.
Well, I would actually say there's other little ecosystems that had little energetic thrusts up. You know what I mean? While
Yeah,
whenever the Trump thing was happening and Malay and Libre, like everything else got sucked out because of that. You know, everything
yeah,
like stopped. At least before that, the Trump coin, there was some sort of like activity in different
yeah,
ecosystems, right? And so that's what we don't want to go back to, in my opinion. And but these it's up to the ecosystem community. So if you're part of the Bitcoin ecosystem, then you know, like let support something like Odin.fun instead of Pump Fund. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I'm not saying telling you guys what to do. You guys are all adults, but you know, that's where my mind is because I feel like when it goes to Solana, it's a black hole because Pump Fund doesn't give back anything. Actually, what they
no,
do is they send it directly to centralized exchange. I'm not saying they sell it right there. They might be holding it, but it's definitely not going back into
yeah,
circulating you know, capital.
100%. Yeah, man. The next thing here is Vitalik Buterin mints at $315,000 DAI and sold meme coins for 71.69 ETH, which is worth 136,000. So how it works is kind of like, you know, it's MakerDAO. You basically take a certain amount of Ethereum, you lock it in MakerDAO. MakerDAO actually gives you a loan of basically double the amount. But if the price of ETH drops in half, then you get liquidated and all that ETH is gone, right? So that's just kind of how it works for that one. But yeah, he took out a huge loan, 315,000 DAI, but he sold down Shiba, he sold down FML, VB, and Awesome. And these are tokens that people just send to his wallet. Shiba was sent in 2021 and he still had some there and he actually just sold that as well. So he's sitting on a lot of DAI right now, and potentially he could put that back into ETH, take out a loan, and then keep doing it, right? And that's just kind of how leverage and decentralization happens. What do you think about Vitalik right here selling down all these coins?
I remember when he first got Sheep, he like donated a bunch because I think there was a big earthquake in India or something. Remember? And he was like,
I think
"Okay,
it was
I'll just
COVID. Like it was a COVID breakout.
maybe something
Yeah,
happened in India though. It was
yeah,
in India specific." And he goes, "Yeah, let me just give you guys some donations. I'll just give you
yeah,
my sheep. I don't even know what it's worth. Just take it." Right? And so that's interesting. Now we look at it and like obviously sheep's worth a lot in terms of the market cap, even with this pullback. But
yeah.
um does he need money? Does he need to pay his like his resort rent or what? Like
Well, I think how it works is he has to pay taxes on that, right? Like if I give you $1 billion, I think you have to pay taxes on that. Like, even if
whoever
it's in
accepts it.
sheep, right? Like, that's the thing is, like, I don't have to accept it. You send it to my wallet, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, technically, he made that money that year, technically, right? And if
Oh,
he's
but
in
I
the
mean, like
US,
but he can declare it as anything. You know, like he doesn't have to
yeah,
like in his taxes, he could declare that as a donation that's going to be utilized for like organization or something. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so there's ways to get around that.
Yeah, I saw this as potentially tax loss harvesting, or I don't know what I guess you can call it taxes, and then just kind of maybe using that die to cash. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but do not send tokens to Vitalik because he will sell them just like I guess anyone else. So I know Barstool Sports guy Dave Portman was doing that. People were sending him coins, and he was just selling it and then buying his own token. Was it Jailstool? or something like that. Yeah. So
Greed 3. How many tokens is
yeah.
like greed tokens does he have?
All right. The next thing here is kind of really cool. Merlin Chain is officially teaming up with BNB and Chain Network. I don't know how Jeff pulled this off, but it's absolutely it's really big. So right now they're actually creating liquidity pools on BNB for Merle. So Merle BTC straight from Merlin Chain to the BNB mainnet. Plus, the Merlin Chain Foundation will provide additional incentives to bootstrap liquidity. Get ready for endless possibilities and exciting new use cases for the Merlin assets. So we do know that every Bitcoin layer 1 asset is a Merlin asset with their bridge, right? And now potentially you can potentially take that right over to BNB using Merlin. I think this is absolutely big for the Bitcoin ecosystem, and no one's really talking about this. Jeff is doing big things. Dude, like BNB is one of the biggest chains in the world, right? And now they have access to the Merle token. Pretty massive.
And MBTC. MBTC's
yeah,
that's the Merlin Bitcoin, right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I think the Western part of the ecosystem needs to really like open their eyes to like what Jeff is doing over here, right? I mean, he obviously has the connections. I'm not surprised that this happened though, because he does have like these connections, right? Like, so I think this is big. Are people going to take advantage of being able to free flow, these Bitcoin layer 1 assets through Merlin to BNB? We'll see. We're about to find out. I know he has like a soft spot in his heart for Bitmap and Bitmap token, the rune. And so maybe that is in the plans, but we're going to find out soon.
Yeah, 100%. We will see. We will see. All right, let's get to the next thing here. This is for those who somehow missed it. Solana did a video yesterday, right? And in that video, there was a person named America, and he was hanging with his therapist here, right? Or talking to his therapist. And the therapist was, he was very American, as you would say. And he's basically saying she was trying to get him to kind of put all of his money into donations or something. But what did you take from this? And why do you think Solana deleted this tweet pretty much right afterwards?
I think they were trying to push like this new kind of administration message, right? And I think I watched it. I was kind of like, okay, cool. It's not that they're making this into too big of a deal, but I do understand a little bit at the end. It was just like there was like too much icing on it. I feel like it was like had the American flag and all this stuff, like saying, this is So, excuse me. I think that's why they pulled it back, is because they started to get a lot of pushback, right? From the left and stuff like that. But there was a lot of support too from the right. It's just probably not being like in a controversy right now with Solana after having a lot of bad PR with like extraction and all this stuff. That's probably why I think they wanted to pull this back.
Yeah, but you have to remember too, like we were in a fight with the Democratic Party for 2 years, right? And now I feel like everyone's like, all right, you won. You're beating a dead horse here. Like you guys won. And do you think that's maybe it? Maybe people are just like, all right, like, but this Trump situation isn't as good either. So, I mean, what are you guys doing? Do you think that could have been it? Like, people are just like annoyed with the win.
I think so a little bit, because it's kind of like you're rubbing it in the face, right?
Yeah.
At that point, because like a lot of the talk of what this commercial is back's been like toned down a lot, right? And like there's still stuff, conversations and stuff that are happening, but it has toned down. And so I think this is kind of like oh, okay, you're rubbing. And a lot of people actually said that they felt like it was cheesy and stuff like that. And but like, do people get angry by something being cheesy? I don't think so, really, right? So
political.
I think that was just kind of on top. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a political statement here, but this would have been good in October. The fact that it's April or going into April and we have this now, it's kind of just like, all right, guys, you're beating a dead horse. And two, this new administration, I kind of want to go back to the old one at this point, right? I mean,
no, I don't.
I know. But in a way, it's just like, I don't know. Last year seems a little bit better than this year. So I don't know. I had a lot more fun the last administration than I'm having right now. But hopefully
there were some wins in 2024, but it wasn't like, crazy. Yeah. Early 2024. Now that's a totally different story. Early 2024 felt great because that's when you get like ordinals are hot in the first quarter, right? So
Yeah. Well, ordinals were hot, and it did feel like the beginning stages of a bull run, right? That we've all had it in our brains that hey, 2024 is going to be good, 2025 is going to be better. Now we're sitting in 2025, and it's not better. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is officially Tuesday at 12 p.m., just about 12 p.m. Eastern time. And what that means is we have every single Thursday, we are lucky enough to have one of our partners, Artura.finance, on the show. We talk about them every single day as they sponsor the Bitcoin price action on the daily show. But these guys are building something really special, and it's kind of awesome kind of for you guys to kind of get to know them for like 15 minutes and really kind of showcase what they're building and updates and really kind of get their perspective on the markets as well. Right. It is nice to always have different perspectives because I don't want you guys to just go into what me and Yagobi are always thinking. So that's why we're going to do this every single Tuesday. So let's bring them up here. Let's bring Instant and let's bring Marine. Guys, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Hey.
Thank you, guys. Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah, busy kind of wrapping up the final steps before mainnet. So yeah, putting like the cherries on top, getting the icing out on the cake, all the good little bits to prepare for.
Yeah, that has to be exciting. And you guys came on last Tuesday and announced that you guys are going to be launching on Hemi, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. So you guys, I'm sure that you guys have been ramping up for that launch. Can you talk a little bit about like what the expectation should be? I guess obviously not make any promises. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more of like once you do go mainnet, what that experience would look like. Would it be more just like straight being able to just trade leverage, kind of that first level of a perps dex, and then it's going to continually grow with the platform, or what does that look like?
Yeah, that's exactly. I think how rollout's going to look like for the most part. We are, I think we're just starting out with more basic features in trading pairs, and then we're going to slowly trickle out more and more as throughout mainnet, sort of as we see fit. And I think like the whole point is that like we're going to be on mainnet, like so it's finally like the time like all the people who have been using testnet can finally actually use our platform and start making money, and in this market they can start shorting certain coins because it's been kind of crazy. But just kidding.
Yeah. My subconscious just caught what you said like as you were talking, because it was like, okay, he's talking about then short certain coins, meaning that we're in a bad market right now. But
I'm just joking, but
yeah,
it's
You're not lying.
I'm also not lying.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So we're gonna have like a bunch of features like continually roll out. It's gonna be the beginning capabilities of our platform, and it should give users like a good sense of like the direction that we're trying to build in as we sort of add more. Yeah. So we're really excited. A lot to look forward to. We have some great like events coming up too with the once we deploy a mainnet. Yeah. So yeah, really excited.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, like since last time we talked to you guys added a bunch of tokens here. We do see Tau and XRP. I expected Ethereum, right? I expected XRP, but Tau. What I'm actually really excited about that because that's one of my favorite tokens. Is one of my biggest holdings right now. But like, why add Tau? Are you guys as bullish on it as I am?
I think we always try to cater towards what people are most interested in, just asset wise.
Yeah.
So at first this was adding XRP and Tau, and then later on it'll be like more meme coins and AI things and those nature. I personally wasn't the one who elected Tau, so I think it was one of the other degens on the team that decided to throw it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got a really, really smart team. I'll give you that because it's a really smart token right there.
Yeah, well, I think they look at like the ones that have a lot of volume, right? Like a lot of trading volume. Yeah. That makes the most sense. Marian, can you talk about, is that why probably you guys added it?
Yeah, a lot of people are bullish on Tau. It's like the main one for the AI, even bigger than the Fed and all the other guys. So that's one of the reasons for it. Expecting a big run up from it.
Yeah, and it's had a big kind of jump up and big pullback, right? So if you think about like once they got listed on Coinbase, I think it went to like $480, something like that.
It got higher than that. I think it even hit like $6.
No,
at one
really?
point.
Okay, so imagine kind of rolling into a short position after it
Yeah.
peaked at 6, right? And you're sitting now at around $240. So it makes sense that you guys added that. So
That would be
that's
a
exciting.
Gen Wealth short, right?
Yeah,
With us. Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about something that's coming up that's we're going to be a part of. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be like a trading roundtable, right? So we're going to have some really cool traders that have experience at this roundtable, breaking things down for our audience, kind of showing what they do, what they're seeing in the markets. What do you I guess instant what do you guys hope that the audience can get from this, something like this?
Yeah, well, I think it's just like a really interesting way for people to like I guess learn more about our platform in general, how to leverage trade, or leverage trading in general, and just kind of get some like maybe unique perspectives, seeing somebody like trading, I guess, or testnet trading in real time, so that maybe they can like learn some bits of information, learn about the platform, and then sort of carry those ideas and lessons into mainnet.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think for the audience listening in, once we post that time, definitely highly recommend if you're interested into trading and stuff, that you attend, because you're going to be able to ask questions to seasoned traders, right? So it's going to be really fun.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll have our team members there, and we're really excited to see who else we're able to sort of bring on. Yeah, I think it's just like ultimately, I think the goal is, in our vision, is just to kind of make it a fun event for everybody. Not too serious, and maybe we can give out some like kind of fun rewards as well for everybody who tunes in.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
Rewards.
Yeah, man. So tomorrow's a big day, right? Let's kind of get into the macro. I know, Marine, I think you're paying attention. So we have the Fed meeting tomorrow and today, but they're going to come out tomorrow at 2 p.m. and say they're going to keep rates the same. 99% chance of that's happening on poly markets. But do you think potentially Jerome Powell can come out and be a little dovish tomorrow, maybe talk about quantitative easing a little bit, or do you think I'm just kind of begging and we're going to pretty much stay the same?
I really don't have any expectations for this one.
Yeah,
to be honest, but yeah, can't say too much from this one.
That's probably a best position to take, because
Yeah.
like the way the market works right now, especially with an event like this, if you go lean too hard into one direction, then it's probably going to be the opposite, right? And so I think that like it's better to kind of just keep observing until your confidence of the market gets better. And that's just my perspective. I don't know about you,
Exactly.
Marian.
Yeah, because now we have seen how the BTC behaves. We have bullish news, it drops. We have bearish news, it drops. So we don't have like.
So tomorrow, I'm actually thinking about taking a 100x long during the speech, but I'm going to be using Toro.finance, so it's going to be paper trading, right? So I'm not actually going to lose any real money. So I'm going to see if I can just ramp up my P&L here. What would you say to someone who's potentially going long going into Jerome Powell's speech? Stupid, or the best decision of their lives?
Well, 100x. I think everybody can say stupid.
Yeah,
I just mean long in general. It doesn't matter the X's.
We are long, yeah, in the hard time frames, but currently we can say that too much. To be honest, I can see also some shorts towards the like 67K.
Yeah,
but we'll see about it.
Why 67K?
Because we haven't had any like structure shifts to the upside. We're just ranging. No clear like displacements, impulse shifts to the upside after the weekly levels were hit, and monthly also.
Stop making so much sense right now.
Yeah. You need to have arguments and see which side of the arguments will win and prevail. So you just take those arguments like confluences and play with it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a ton of sense, right? Like we have been ranging, and like if there's good news, it's gone down. If there's bad news, it's gone down. So,
no sense.
And I hope that like because of that logic, that's all a bunch of logic. I hope the opposite happens, because a lot of times it will be opposite of logic. But yeah, man, I'm hoping that we get out of this rut.
Same. Tough times.
Yeah.
But the vibe
Is there
is getting back on the X from what I've seen.
Yeah,
I'm sure
100%.
you spotted
You're
also.
you're
Yeah.
seeing that actually on Pump Fun as well, with Solana
Yeah.
tokens. There actually been more this week than there's been in a while, which is kind of bringing
Yeah,
back
yeah.
a lot of people. I mean, Thread Guy's back, right? So I don't
Mhm.
know what that's supposed to mean, but he's back and he's tweeting again.
Yeah.
Instant, do you think there's any chance of us kind of being here at the bottom? Could we have reached the bottom here and kind of headed up? And please be bullish because we're gonna lose viewers. If you're not.
I mean, dude,
Be honest.
I'm always an optimist. I mean, here's the one thing is that I will say is that, over at, the Artura team always tries to be as honest as possible. Our takes aren't always like, maybe the most optimistic, but for one, I mean, I've been in this market for a couple cycles at this point. So I don't know if you consider that an OG, take it as what you will, but there's really anything that can happen at this point. I mean, it's still like a speculative market, which means that, it doesn't necessarily take like one piece of news, or I guess it could take one piece of news to turn the entire thing around. We could just see inflows from literally anywhere. So people are trading, generally based on as much as logic, is matters in trading and triumph, things like that. I mean, like it's a market based off of emotions and sentiments and things like that. So I don't know. You could just blink, twice, and then all of a sudden, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. If you think about the Trump pump effect, right? That was basically the assumption that Trump was going to win. It actually pumped pre-November a little bit, and then whenever the poly market kind of dictated our market for a little bit, right? It's like he's at like a 65% chance he's going to win. Okay, Bitcoin's going up, and then it switched to 55. Oh no, we're going down. But we kind of are. I do think that the headline has to be significant enough at this point, though, because to Murian's point, we've had some good headlines and it hasn't helped, right? And I think it's more of the good headlines that comes out of this administration. It's not helping, right? But if there's good headlines that come outside that are significant, I think that's what can change it. But we got to really kind of wait and see if we get anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, also, I would say in general too, like there are people that make, still make like millions of dollars in like, bad markets as well. It's not like, it's not totally out if it's like a bad market. You have to be like a little, maybe less like risky and a little bit more sensible and maybe even a little bit more like resourceful or creative, like absolutely. But, bad market doesn't mean like it's a dead market either.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Makes sense.
All right. So what else do we have in terms of announcements? Is there anything else? We announced that you guys are about to wrap up to release the mainnet. We're super excited about that. You said you have some events coming up. Are there any spaces or anything you're going to be on coming up, or anything else that you have to announce for the audience?
Yeah, so currently we're running sort of our final big like testnet community events. We have a 7-day trading campaign where if you just make a trade on Artura, you're entered into an automatic raffle. We're going to have 5 winners every day announced for the next 7 days. So just make a trade, you're in there, and then you can win some of our token. It's going to be one of the last guaranteed events on testnet. So we still have potentially some more coming up, but this is the last one where you can like really earn some of our token before mainnet. So yeah, just I would say like pop in a few trades, get prepared because mainnet is going to be a game changer.
Love it, guys. So you heard that. That's how you can earn that TGE, part of that TGE. So make sure you're participating in that. Super exciting stuff. Last question for me, for Murian is Friday morning higher than 81,668 or lower?
Friday morning, right?
Yes.
Let's gamble a bit short.
Okay. Oh, hey, I felt like that was a lot of truth that just came out. You wanted to say that the whole time. So appreciate that.
Shiz is gonna go long, so you can
I'll go long,
so.
maybe. Every
Yeah,
market,
yeah.
right? It needs to be someone needs to go short for someone to go long,
Yeah.
right? And I can't wait till next Tuesday when I can say, hey, Marine, I was right and you were wrong.
Let's loop back to this.
Yeah.
actually,
That's
after
great.
after we're done with our show today, I'm gonna force Shizzy to take 100x on the testnet, and we're
I'm
gonna
doing it.
revisit it next Tuesday. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
let's do that.
It's a little
Trade
bet
taken a
going on.
501, liquidated a 503.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Good
Well,
luck.
we appreciate you guys, of course, again for jumping on with us every Tuesday, guys. It's sort of like this AMA type of event for Artura to give you guys, the founders, giving you guys the information directly from their mouths. So we appreciate you. Oh, sorry, core contributors, I should say, the team doing this, and so you can expect that every Tuesday, unless we give you a heads up that they might not be able to make it that Tuesday. But we appreciate both of you for your time, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you guys. See you.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Absolutely awesome, like every week. Thanks to those guys for joining us. A few more things here before we get out of here. So there's this new thing. It's called mintalkanes.com, right? And what this is from the guys from Oil Wallet. They're actually building this smart contract platform called Alkynes. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Alkynes or Alkanes. But it has huge backing, right? It has what's that guy's name? Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it has Arthur Hayes' backing. He's a part of this company, Oil Wallet, this new protocol. They already extracted some value already with their airheads. They got a pretty big mint there, and now they're potentially extracting some more. What can you tell me about mint alkanes before we kind of get into this, or alkanes in general? What do you know from it to be true so far?
Yeah, so alkanes actually, kind of came out. We learned about them through Oil Wallet and the Fatheads Mint and all that stuff, right? Like you mentioned, Arthur Hayes. And when they realized that there was a pain point for Bitcoin runes, being fungible but can't do much, they said, okay, let's kind of go to the drawing board and create a new meta protocol that will make runes programmable. And so that is the claim. And so, this is, I guess, kind of like a kickoff campaign for them to have these inscriptions that have this programmability. So it's going to be interesting to see, because a lot of people make a lot of brash statements in our space, the Bitcoin ecosystem, that hey, they've solved the problem, and we haven't really seen it on layer 1 yet. So I'm interested. They are saying that their meta protocol utilizes WASM, so it's a mix of different developer code languages, and I'm excited to learn more about it. But I'm not gonna buy into it and now I'm not talking about this collection specifically, but buy into the meta protocol until I can see it working.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I will get into this a little bit, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware of the fine print here. A small fee of 1,000 sats applies to each mint to help keep our services running. This is experimental technology and may have bugs. Used at your own risk. So each mint is 10,000. You get every mint, you get 10,000 tokens. Total supply is 1 billion tokens. So which is 100,000 mints, which gives them a free Bitcoin. So if this mints out, they will receive a free Bitcoin, basically extract value from the users again, just like they did with Airheads. But I don't know. I still might throw 100, 150 bucks, 200 bucks at this just to kind of mint a few of these, because I am paying the 4 sats per VByte per mint. So I'm already paying like $2 on top of the 1,000 sats that I got to give to them. 1,000 sats is like what is it, like $1 or something like that, or a little under $1? It's like 80 cents for every one. So let's just say I do 10, I give them $8, right, in fees. So I don't know how I feel about this. I'm a little annoyed at first. It does have the Taproot address that you're gonna be sending it to, and the SegWit. So no, that's my personal one, right? Yeah, that's my personal one for my Alkanes wallet. So that's my wallet that's connected. So will you be minting this? Are you bullish on methane? Meth? I don't know if I'm bullish on meth. Hey, I'm just saying what the token's going to be called, right? Methane, meth. Are you bullish on meth? Is my question.
Yeah, I'm glad this is not a token, because the ticker is obvious what it would be.
It is a token.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was an inscription ordinal or something. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna roll some dice on it. For sure. I'm not going to take meth, but I'm going to participate in the minting of methane. Interesting choice for a name, though. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah.
This is the first token. If you click here next, it actually, a thing comes up and it says put your email address in here, and we're going to give you notifications on when the next token is. So methane looks to be the first token of it. So the first one's meth. I think the second one's going to be called crack. So you'll have your choice of crack or meth to invest in. No, I'm just kidding. But I definitely now want a coin called crack, because I think that would just work out if everyone's just doing crack with me. But minting it, guys. Come on, heads out the gutter here. We're talking about crypto.
Yeah. So what is the 1,000 sats about? Is that the fee? You said 1,000.
Yes. So
1,000 sats.
So
Yeah.
when you mint 10,000 of these, you will not only pay the 4 sats per VByte, which is like $2, but you also give them $2 of that. Let's just say it's $3, or like $2.80. $2 of that will go to the miner, 80 cents will go to their wallet, and then you will receive the 10,000 tokens. And if you do a max mint, you'll get 1 million.
So that's what they mean by the. That's what they mean by the 80
Yeah.
cents is 1,000 sats. So
yes.
Okay,
exactly.
gotcha. Cool.
So let us know in the chat, guys. Will you guys be minting the methane, or will you guys be skipping it here? I don't want to fade it. I want to put a little bit in just in case, because the first token is always the biggest one of the group. So I'll be messing around. Will you be?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a little bit out. I didn't realize it was a fungible, so I'm definitely going to do that. But there's a problem, a technical problem, right? It's stuck at like that 5%.
It's down right now, so it won't let you mint right now. It'll be back up soon. They had an issue right away, and they're fixing it in the back end. But they said pay attention to their Twitter, because they're going to announce when it's back up and running. So, but a lot of people were having issues and weren't able to mint this. So we'll see if the problem is fixed and when it'll be fixed. But
Gotcha.
All right, let's kind of get into the next thing here. Pep Odin's deep security data. So Pep Odin's, if you guys don't know, it's one of the few alpha sites alpha groups, right? But they also have a site that actually helps a lot of people kind of figure out what coins are good, what coins have jitters, what coins are bundled. And when I say bundled, it usually means one wallet controls 100 other wallets, right? It's a way to make it look like there's a lot of holders. And I think Odin Gold is one of them that we think is heavily bundled.
Yeah, I think it's 90%.
Is it 90%? Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, you just got to be careful with the ones that are crazy, and sometimes people launch them and the devs sell, and then they keep some of the bundle, but like like communities can work to try to make these stats better, which like that's what's happened with the BitDog community. They've been legitimately trying to get better, and other communities I've noticed have gotten their profiles better. But this is cool because Pep Odin's is like one of the most undervalued tokens in my opinion. They offer so much tooling in the Odin ecosystem. So
you want to show it a little bit? Show it off.
Yeah. So let me pull up a token real quick so I can have it ready. I'll just go Odin Dog here. I'm gonna remove yours, add mine. There we go. Yeah, so if you just go to Pep Odin's and you search here, you can search Odin Dog, and then you'll see like the security, dev, dat, all this stuff, like Jeets, 30%, bundled 40%, how many whales, bots, no bots, all that stuff. And you can see like the top, like I think 100 holders or something like that. So, I mean, I think they're definitely doing a good job, Pep Odin's is, for creating this type of thing. But like not just this, but there's like 3 different tool applications that you have like the alpha one. If you go to the homepage, and it shows like what's being hit, what's the hot one right now. If you go here, I think they changed the layout a little bit. It's like you're using like this Julius Caesar text, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe sorry, that's Norse. So that's like the Viking stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
And then they have like the create like actual videos with like images for your marketing if you have a token. So I'm definitely long-term bullish on Pep Odin's because I feel like they have a lot going on, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool, man.
So could you just explain the Jeets and stuff like that? And dig into let's go to one that's like heavily Jeeted, I guess you would say.
Okay, so well, let me go to I think that one's the higher one now. Yeah, so you can see right here, it's 40%. It's not too horrible, but the bundle at 80%, ugh, don't love that, right? So the Jeets basically means that like if you have a coin that constantly sells over and over and over, like heavy traders, then you're gonna see that, right?
Yeah.
Higher number, right? So, which to me, if I go to Odin Gold, it's a bit weird because you go to Odin Gold and you can see that the market cap's 950,000. It's not bad,
Yeah.
but the
Holy
bundle
shit.
is 90%. So that means like the person that like launched this or has the bundle, he wants the price to go. He's holding, right? But that also means that 90% can dump on you. And you can see right here 90% Jeet. So maybe taking a little bit of profit, but these guys right here seems to be like a lot of Jeets in the front. So the red guys, right? So that's what it seems like. But this guy wants to make it look good at least. None of this is financial advice at all. We're just trying to say, utilize Pep Odin's tool set, because they're doing a lot of good work for this ecosystem. But here, I will show this right here, an example of like a community takeover that has done something really good with like the community I'm involved with, a BitDog. You can see the Jeets used to be like 60-70% once that Bybit KOL launched this. And the community has got it down to 30. So that's super solid, right? The bundle used to be at like 80, so it's gotten down to like 60, meaning that original bundle stuff, they started to sell off a little bit and not get back in because they jumped the price back up. But, it's a strategy that like it's hard to kind of do because you come back, with a community effort, a joint community effort with it. But I would recommend utilizing Pep Odin's tool set. That is for sure.
Yeah, man. All right. Great show today. Very uncertain a day, but remember, join us in a little bit in about 1:30, 2:30, about 2.5 hours from right now. We're going to be kind of hanging out with our guys from Foxy. Join us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But that is our show for today.
I
we really hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah.
Couple comments because we got some people that came in at the end. Kai Effect says the blue dot on the hash ribbon. So maybe we go over that next time. But I think he's talking about a wick 265K. Ugh, I don't like that. Yeah. Another one, BitDog Odin Fun says, how can I get subtitles for YouTube Live? I'm going to work on that for our international audience. So hold tight there. By the way, shout out to the BitDog family. They've been participating in the chat here and we've been doing good stuff in their Telegram, learning about each other. Then we got Patipoo here, longtime member, says, unfortunately, markets move to Max Pain and Max Pain is lower.
Make me sad, buddy. You make me sad.
So, but yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up and we will get out of here, guys. We will see you guys, the ones that are going to be playing. Everybody's invited. I'll get into that in a second once we go over our partners, but we appreciate 269 of you guys hanging with us and probably some more from Rumble and Abstract as well. If you could check out our partners, that would be amazing, as that helps us out a ton, guys. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, your node monks, your OMBs from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Chain to Base to Abstract and be able to form communities over there, as well as you brand these Ordinals around. Also, you're going to be able to utilize their AI agent product called Agent Hustle to be able to vault these Ordinals for you if you prompt him to do so, as well as just make some Bitcoin transactions as well. So that's going to be very soon. And don't forget, they do have a Rune TGE that's coming out in this September of this year. And you can actually pre-purchase these in a ERC 721 format on OpenSea. And once the TGE comes, the runes come out and go into your Bitcoin wallet. Super exciting stuff there. You can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an X1st wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets on their markets right away. They just released the 10-minute market. So, Shizzy's probably bet a ton on there because he's a DGen, but you can go up and down for 10-minute bets on Bitcoin, BNB, Solana, and you get paid out in 10 minutes if you win, or you don't if you lose. So be careful, be responsible with that. But they're going to create your own markets very soon, guys, in the future. And you can earn up to 1.5% of the total volume with that. Learn about all this at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance, we just talked about with these guys, amazing team. They're going to be launching on Hemi testnet or Hemi mainnet very soon, and you guys are going to be able to take leverage out with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tau, and of course Bitcoin Layer 1 tokens, synthetic tokens, though on Hemi. So already sats. Think about dog go to the moon, stuff like that, as well as popular tokens that we just talked about, Tau, XRP, stuff like that as well. And use their testnet right now, which you can go to at artura.finance, and your address will be entered into a raffle to earn or win part of their TGE that comes out later this year. You can learn about all this at artura.finance. And Fluid tokens are the first to introduce staking vaults to retail users on Bitcoin Layer 1. If you are a founder of an Ordinal collection, or you etched a rune and you have an established community, a lot of communities from Odin are starting to put their runes into a staking vault, like Pep Odin's and Sparks, and I know some others are thinking about it, like BitDog, possibly. I think another one is maybe Confucius, I heard, or something like that. So if you have an established community, you can reach out to Raul, which is the CTO, and he'll get you hooked up with a staking vault for your community to earn. You're going to have the reward for him, but they can earn. So it's a really cool thing to do on Bitcoin's native layer, which is not done often, right? So you can learn more at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and you want your protocol to be a bit more scalable, you can reach out to their team and apply for a Merlin Chain Builders Grant. A couple of our partners got into that program, so they have great builder support there. And if you're a retail user and you want to swap for Doggo to the Moon, you can do so at merlinswap.org. As well as participate in their proof of stake, securing the chain by staking Merlin tokens and earning 15% APR. Excuse me. They're going to be adding Bitcoin as well to that. So super exciting times for that. You can learn more at merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners and Foxy AI, building the metaverse on Bitcoin, called the Bitverse, and the first-person shooter game, which is called Clan Wars for now. But we're going to be live streaming this at 3 p.m. Eastern. Everybody's invited to play. All you need is a compatible wallet, so one of the Bitcoin wallets, and I think they accept Phantom as well. And we're going to have kind of like you pick a clan, and then the clans go against each other, and it's going to be a fun time. So make sure you are participating in that at 3 p.m. Eastern. And lastly, but not least, Ordinal Hive is the Ordinal aggregator marketplace for Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. The cheapest Ordinals around you're going to find on Ordinal Hive. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. Brand new article up now. Check that out as soon as possible. If you know someone just under your space, guys, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get caught up to where we are today. Get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have Nord. It's 70% off coupon. You can't beat it. There's no other VPN out there that I choose. I love Nord. I love everything that it brings. There's actually a lot of new features that I'm actually exploring now as well, but you can get that for $3 a month. Check it here at OnChainRevolution.io. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but do not wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible and get them on our site. Get them through us, guys. Every Friday, these prices go up. Right now, it's like $1,600 for the industry pass. That's the one you want to get. The festival one's a lot cheaper, but you miss out on day one. Day one was my favorite day. So definitely check everything out here at Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, click our store tab there. That'll take you there towards some of the best merch in all of crypto. Check everything out at OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and check us out in a little bit too. But until 3 o'clock.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. why you still coping? Price action rolling, don't fall for bear traps. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.